Right now at 5, a transition house opens in Southwest Missouri to help people dealing with homelessness.
We've got a pretty decent start to our day today. Another cool one, a little bit of patchy fog and warmer weather on the way. We'll have a look at that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, authorities in Southwest Missouri have some advice for kids if they become separated from their parents.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. Wednesday now, halfway through the work week.
Yeah.
That much closer to another weekend. Not as long as the last one, but
Right.
Another weekend nonetheless. And temperatures warming up as well here. So hopefully you were able to enjoy yesterday.
Yes. A little calmer because I know it's going to get really, really hot.
It is.
Muggy.
It's going to get
all
hot,
that.
muggy. It's going to go back to those unpleasant conditions, but not just yet. It's a gradual warm up. Let's start with a look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. And as you can see, we're looking pretty good. Just got a few clouds. Did run into some patchy fog here and there. Nothing too crazy, but there's been some patchy, dense fog in some locations. So just do keep that in mind if you're traveling. Nothing significant showing up on the fog tracker at this point. But if that changes, we'll bring in the fog tracker and we'll show you where some of those hot spots are. 7th range line looking good, safe from the MoDOT camera. 32nd and range line in Joplin as well. As we head into our afternoon and evening hours, as you can see, there's really not much out there, maybe a stray cloud or two. Otherwise, it is going to be a relatively pleasant day. It's going to be a little warmer, a little muggier today. Like I said, it's a gradual trend to get back to those uncomfortable temperatures as we head into next week, but not so uncomfortable this morning. Hopefully you're able to open the windows again, maybe give your AC a bit of a break out there. Sedan checking in at as the cool spot at 61. Temperatures around the region into the low to mid 60s. So again, a fairly decent start. In fact, a little cooler than where we were yesterday at this time. As we head into the afternoon, again, we're back to the easy forecast part is just clicking the very first icon because it's just called clear day. And that's what we have. Sunny skies, clear skies heading into the afternoon, maybe a passing cloud or two, and temperatures warming into the upper 80s, maybe a couple of low 90-degree readings out there. Could see some pop-up storms as we head into our Thursday. And as I mentioned yesterday, and we've been talking about, unfortunately, dangerous heat returns to the forecast. Break down those full details for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Joplin police say the driver of a tractor trailer is dead after a rollover crash. It happened around 9:50 yesterday morning at mile marker 13 on I-44 eastbound. Authorities say the semi left the roadway, struck the median cable barriers, and rolled over. The driver died at the scene. The crash caused interstate traffic to be impacted for more than 6 hours. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, KOAM is teaming up with Hideout Harley-Davidson in Joplin and the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks for a special series of blood drives. The Boots, Badges, and Bandages blood drive will bring out area police and fire departments and emergency medical service providers across the Ozarks. This special blood drive will cover 7 area cities on 7 days, starting today in Mount Vernon, Missouri. If you want to still roll up your sleeve, join the cause. You'll find the information on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. The newest online feature of the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office could keep your home safe while you're away on vacation. Residents can fill out a home away form requesting extra patrolling around their home. The Community Outreach Deputy developed the new form. That position was created in January. Sheriff Deputy Nate Jones says this is just one feature of the county's new crime mapping system.
The form went up late last week. We tested it throughout the late last week and weekend, and so we're really trying to push it out to the citizens now.
You can find the form on the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office website. The Webb City Police Department is making sure local kids can easily be identified in an emergency. They handed out free child identification kits yesterday at the Webb City Farmers Market. The kits include a card parents can fill out with information about the child, including their address and medical information. It can help authorities easily reunite a child with their parents if they get lost.
Right, so we don't release information that's not necessary when trying to find a child. Obviously, the name of the child is pretty important and a brief description. A lot of the things for medical care and stuff, where it's not going to be used except for official business. It's also a card that's not going to be put into process unless the child goes missing, which is hopefully a very low possibility. So you'll keep the card and have it filled out. If something happens to the child, then you'll be able to give us the card.
If you missed last night's farmers market, you can pick up a kit at the Webb City Police Department. Well, after a busy holiday weekend, police are reminding parents to make sure their child knows what to do in case they're separated from you at an event. Before heading out, go over what your kid needs to do if they get lost. Tell them to find a trusted adult, preferably a police officer, but an employee in uniform works too. Make sure they know your contact information so they can repeat it to the adult.
Teach them their name, your name, their phone number. Regularly practice that so that they can repeat it back to you. And again, if they can't recall that information, always have it written down somewhere, whether it's in their pocket, write it on their arm or on a wristband. That way, if you do get separated, we have a way to get in contact with the parents.
They also say all children should know their address and parents' phone number. And it's not a bad idea to teach your kid how to call 911 as well. That way they know how to get help whether they're lost or not. Well, ribbon cutting in Southwest Missouri is a step in a plan to help people dealing with homelessness. The Restoration Life Center has given many homeless people a second chance at life. And yesterday, they opened a new shelter in Neosho for those in need. The shelter not only offers housing, but resources for their residents to reform their lives and become independent. Bed space at the transitional shelter is given on a first-come, first-served basis.
We just want to see people succeed. We want to see people become productive members of society and just learn that they are loved and they are worthy.
The director of the shelter hopes they can expand to other locations and help more people in the future. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. The Joplin Outlaws and Nevada Griffins both trying to snap losing streaks. We'll have the details. Plus, Prince William was in Wales yesterday visiting the Royal Air Force Valley Base. And we have a warmer and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, Joplin Outlaws have hit a rough patch of their season after holding the second place spot in the Mid-America League standings for most of the summer. The Outlaws have lost 8 of their last 10 and dropped into a tie for third. Joplin Outlaws at home trying to snap a 4-game losing skid, taking on Fort Smith, who jumped in front of Joplin to second place. Pitchers duel early on. Fort Smith starter Zeke Hirsch gets a couple swinging strikeouts. He'd strike out 6 over 7 innings. Joplin's starting pitcher Eric Heiken is just as locked in. He picks up 2 of his 7 strikeouts on the day. Heiken would pitch 7 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs. Bottom of the 4th inning, still scoreless, nobody out. Will Doherty breaks his bat and grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Next batter, Shu Kitagawa, who got injured in the first game of the summer, is just his 3rd game of the season, picks up a huge RBI single to break the scoreless tie. Next half inning, Heiken's still cruising. Gets a 4-6-3 double play to keep it a 1-0 Joplin lead. This one stays close all the way to the finish, but the Outlaws win a close one. Final score 3-2. They snapped that 4-game losing streak. Over in the Mink League, the Nevada Griffins are at home last night as well, taking on the Sedalia Bombers in a doubleheader. The Griffins fall 6-2 in Game 1. Second contest, much more competitive, but the same result. Nevada loses 6-5. Griffins had the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position in the final half inning, but come up short, and the game ends on a double play on an attempted sacrifice fly. It's also that time of year when junior college baseball players move on to their next school. Over the past week or so, several Crowder Rough Riders have announced their commitments. Here's a look at 12 of the most recent commits coming out of Crowder. The list features 8 Rough Riders that are advancing to Division I schools. Nick Moten is going to the Big 12 Conference, and Houston right-handed pitchers Potter, Carson Richard and Aaron Arnold are all headed to Wichita State. 2 more right-handed pitchers, Ashton Branson and Landon Grigg, are going to Dallas Baptist and Louisiana Monroe. Then Jake Pannell is committed to Central Arkansas, and Ethan Fender is going on to Oral Roberts University. Over to Major League Baseball, the Royals and Cardinals play each other just 4 times in the regular season, twice in St. Louis and in Kansas City. The first of those 4 games was supposed to be last night at Busch Stadium. However, the decision was made early yesterday afternoon to postpone last night's game, which makes today a doubleheader in St. Louis. First game will be at 12:45. And the second is scheduled for 6:45. Right now, the Royals and Cardinals are both 6 games above 500. That's good enough for a wild card spot in the National League, but not in the American. Still to come, a new survey finds millions of women in the U.S. have skipped or delayed a recommended health screening, plus another check of that forecast. We're talking the return of dangerous heat when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's now coming up on 5:17 on this Wednesday morning. We're starting with a live look from our camera at top of the Cornell Complex, downtown Joplin. A lot less cloud cover, a little more daylight starting to show up out there, and looking fairly good from our camera also at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. And we head a little further south to the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Range Line. Just taking a quick tour outside. Again, not seeing any super dense fog on any of these cameras. MoDOT camera down in Neosho also looking pretty good this morning, but there is some patchy fog here and there. And again, looking at the fog tracker, nothing significant showing up yet, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't run into some patchy dense fog this morning. So do keep that in mind, especially in low-lying areas. Taking a look on the future track a little further down the road, and as you'll see, other than maybe a passing cloud or two, our Wednesday looks pretty darn good. It won't be until tomorrow that we'll start to see some opportunities for more partly cloudy skies and possibly a pop-up shower or storm, and that won't be really again until we get into the afternoon and evening hours, and it'll be isolated to widely scattered at best. We're not anticipating at this point anything strong or severe with this activity, but could continue into the overnight hours and into our Friday early, and then by maybe 6 o'clock at the latest on Friday, it will be out of here again, leaving us relatively warm and sunny heading into the weekend. 65 in Joplin right now. Skies are mostly clear. Wind is calm and temperatures around the area. Again, a great opportunity to give the AC a break, especially with the heat we had over the past couple of weeks and the heat we're about to have. You definitely want to try and save on your electric bill where you can. We're in the low to mid 60s, a couple of upper 60s out there as well. As we get our day underway, again, sunny skies, maybe a passing cloud or two. We're going to be a little warmer today, going into the low 80s by 11 o'clock. And as we head into the afternoon, temperatures upper 80s. Could even see a couple of low 90-degree readings. And our heat index values will be gradually starting to climb up as well. So we're talking heat index values in that 90 to 95 range out there for some of us. We head into the evening. Going to be a little milder this evening as well. We'll hold on to those clear skies through the evening and into the overnight hours, and we'll fall back into the low 70s, and then we look ahead. And not much has changed, unfortunately, as we head into next week. So again, low 90s tomorrow, maybe a pop-up storm or two. We start climbing up as we head into the weekend. We go mid-upper 90s as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Still sunny, still dry. Unfortunately, that dangerous heat starts to build back in. Still looking at triple digits for next Monday and Tuesday across the area. And then a new system with some pop-up storm chances will roll in, and that might help with our temperatures as well. It's starting to drop us back to the 90s, mid-90s, upper 80s, and back into the low 90s by next Friday. But as we do head into the beginning of next week, it is something we want to keep an eye on with that dangerous heat. We Beryl kind of helped out a bit and managed to keep temperatures down for us, but unfortunately, it is still summertime. It is still July, and it's going to get hot again. That's a check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a potential health risk associated with using tampons. They could expose you to toxic metals, including arsenic and lead. That's according to a study published on July 3rd by the journal Environment International. Researchers analyzed 30 tampons from 14 tampon brands in the U.S. and the UK. The samples included both organic and non-organic products. All were found to have measurable concentrations of at least 16 different metals. Study authors say although people are regularly exposed to low levels of toxic metals, using tampons could put women at a higher risk of exposure. That's because the vagina has a higher potential for chemical absorption than skin on other parts of the body. Still, they say more research is needed to determine whether the metals can affect your health. A new survey finds an estimated 72 million women in the U.S. have skipped or delayed a recommended health screening. The poll was conducted by Gallup for a medical technology company. It found 90% of women acknowledge the importance of regular health screenings, but more than 40% have skipped or delayed a test, and more than 60% responded it was hard to make their own health a priority. That's because women spend more time being caregivers for others or have work or family obligations keeping them out of the doctor's office. The latest study focused on cancer screenings. Specifically, 41% of U.S. women delayed or skipped screenings for breast cancer, 35% for cervical cancer, and 33% for colorectal cancer. 7 to 9 hours a night. That's how much sleep is recommended for adults, but sometimes you can get the right amount of sleep and still wake up feeling tired. Mandy Gaither has more on what may be causing morning grogginess and how to help prevent it.
If you get enough Z's but can't kick the morning grogginess, there may be a reason, something known as a heightened state of sleep inertia.
It's just what it sounds like. You are awake, but there's a lot of inertia of sleep left over that affects your memory and your mood, your reaction time, and your alertness as you're waking up.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says these effects usually go away after 15 minutes to an hour, but they can also last longer. Gupta says it's not about the quantity of sleep when it comes to this. Instead, it's the quality of those Z's.
We've talked about the basics of good sleep hygiene before, like keeping your bedroom dark, quiet, cold, and avoiding screens at nighttime.
But Gupta says there are other lifestyle things that can also affect how a person feels when they wake, including being sedentary. Your body can get used to expending low energy, making you more tired, and having inconsistent sleep schedules like staying up late on weekends. He says it can create almost a jet lag effect.
Also, remember that some people might need more sleep than others. So maybe you need 9 hours, and other experts suggest trying to go to sleep an hour earlier or waking up an hour later than usual to see if that can also make a difference.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Experts say sleep is a critical part of being healthy. While you sleep, the body works to support brain health and helps maintain physical health. Now to look at some of today's top health stories, you're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Yeah, we've got a pretty nice start to the day again across the area. Fewer clouds, warmer temperatures a little later as well. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Right now at 5:30, the city of Parsons cut the ribbon for the opening of an outdoor fitness court.
And we've got a pretty nice start to the day. Hopefully you're able to give your air conditioning a break because it is going to kick into hyperdrive as we head into next week. We'll have a look at that forecast though to get you out the door today coming up.
Plus, the Vernon County Youth Fair in Nevada, Missouri gets into full swing with a week of fun and activities.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It's now Wednesday, almost to Friday.
Almost.
Not quite, but almost.
Halfway through the week.
Halfway through. So if you missed that story we just had in our health segment, talking about, when you wake up and you can't get going.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Of course, we stream our newscasts on KOAM Plus. It's also uploaded to our YouTube channel. So if you missed it, go back and watch it. Because that was interesting information.
It really was.
Because I wonder about that. Because we talked about there's sometimes you get too much sleep. Sometimes you get too little, and even when you get the right amount, you still seem tired. And now they're starting to figure it out.
It's different for everyone.
It is.
Different for everyone. So you got to find the right, amount of hours that you need.
So definitely, take some time today when you're a little more awake. Go back and see it if you did not see it. And now we're going to see the forecast, or at least to get you out the door. We want to get your day started, and we're going to start with this. A look outside from our camera from 7th and Rangeline. I just realized I'm over here conducting an orchestra with my hands this morning. I do not know what's going on, but it's Wednesday, so here we are. All right, sunrise, it's looking great. I love these colors in the morning. Just a few stray clouds off in the distance here from 7th and Rangeline. MoDOT camera 32nd and Rangeline looking fairly good as well this morning. And as we go into the afternoon and evening, the future track is showing there's one stray cloud. There's a couple more stray clouds. That's really about it, though, today is just a few stray clouds here and there as we head through the afternoon. As we go into our Thursday, we've got some pop-up storm chances, and it's going to be a little warmer. And that's the big story is we're going to have gradual warming over the next several days to the point that by this weekend, we're looking at that potential for dangerous heat once again. Not the case this morning, though. Look at these temperatures looking great. We've got low mid-60s for the most part, actually cooler than where we were yesterday when some of us were even getting some clouds and rainfall. It's actually a little cooler now than it was then. Sunny skies as we go through the morning and into the afternoon and into the evening, and then we'll have moon skies when we go overnight tonight as they'll remain clear. Highs today, again, a little warmer, upper 80s, maybe a couple of low 90s. It's going to put our heat index values a little higher as well, putting into that 90 to 95 range. So again, hot, but not overbearingly hot. But that will change as we head down the road. We'll break down the details in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, drivers in Newton County, Missouri can expect delays and detours in the coming week. MoDOT crews will begin road resurfacing on Missouri Route 86 south of I-44 beginning Monday. Crews will lay a new asphalt surface and add 2-foot wide shoulders on both sides of the highway in the work zone. In addition, crews will add rumble strips, permanent striping and striping and guardrail in areas. Drivers can expect to encounter flaggers and pilot cars during work hours, and MoDOT encourages drivers to find alternate routes. Well, some Republican candidates running for office in Jasper County met with constituents yesterday. The group Republican Women of Jasper County held their annual ice cream social at Carthage Memorial Hall. Local and state office candidates were invited, and organizers say the goal is to encourage women in Jasper County to participate in the political process. The Vernon County Youth Fair in Nevada, Missouri gets into full swing with a week of fun activities. Yesterday, kids from the 4-H program began getting their livestock show ready while sheep and goats were being weighed in. The preparation is to show off and sell the animals throughout the week, and as always, the public is invited.
If you haven't been familiar with the fair, I would say just come and visit anytime during day or night, because there's always something going on and there's always people you can talk to. Ask questions, don't be afraid to just put yourself out there, see what people have to say, because everyone has a different perspective and everyone's perspective is all important.
On Friday, the fair will hold one of the largest rabbit shows in Missouri. The city of Parsons yesterday cut the ribbon for the opening of an outdoor fitness court at Forest Park. The fitness court provides a way for users to leverage their body weight to a complete workout at 7 workout stations. It's designed for adults of any age and ability.
So we know that a huge part of being healthy is having access to places to go to be physically active, to get nutritious foods, to come together so that you are able to be a part of a community. And what's great about these fitness courts is they really do serve that piece of being able to have free access to physical activity.
Users can also download the free Fitness Court app, which acts as sort of a coach in your pocket. Young actors are working on a production of Robin Hood. The Bullis Fine Arts Center in Iola is partnering with Missoula Children's Theater to host a camp for the kids to practice the play. We sent photojournalist Ty Parks to check it out.
Robin Hood, go find that Robin. Robin Hood.
It just allows the children of Iola and really Allen County and kind of surrounding areas, even like Woodson or Neosho County, to come here and start learning the basics about theater. It allows just those that may not have this opportunity on a normal basis. Missoula comes in and they bring in 2 professionals, and the 2 of them work together and they lead different groups, and over the process of a week we go from auditions to a full stage production.
I didn't know you were here! We like it that way!
Musical performance is Robin Hood. It's not necessarily the same take on Robin Hood. Missoula does their own little, like they take the idea of Robin Hood and then they turn it into their own musical performance.
We're on the trail. And you do 4 steps that way.
We're doing children's theater, and in the camp counselors I had were the people that really stuck with me and wanted me to continue doing this, and so being able to be the light for another kid, honestly, is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, I think being able to teach kids, and sometimes this is their very first experience in theater in general, and just either seeing kids find a love for that or just maybe get to come out of their shell, or it's just giving kids another chance to try something new.
The ancient oak that knows no folk.
Different creative ways to teach different ages of children the material that we do. So sometimes, certain things take more repetition depending on age or not. And it's kind of just learning to read the room and figure out like who needs more time with something, or, oh, we're good. Yeah, let's keep on going.
And we all go, hee, because you're so sneaky. Whenever that one kid comes up to you and they're like, this is the best week ever, I had so much fun. And like being able to see them just like being in their element on stage, and like seeing them with their parents being so proud after, like it's so rewarding to watch the kids enjoy the process and have a good time and gain so much from it. Like this isn't for us, it's purely for them.
Yeah.
Hello, my fine foresters.
Now, the campers will put their practice to the test with a performance of the play on Saturday at 2 p.m. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Police and Peru say they found the body of an American mountaineer who was buried by an avalanche 22 years ago. Plus, President Biden is back on the world stage to host the NATO summit. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, Prince William was in Wales yesterday visiting the Royal Air Force Valley Base. It's the first visit for the Prince of Wales since becoming the base's Royal Honorary Air Commodore, a title awarded to him by King Charles last year. The Prince met and joked with Air Force workers in the control room, extinguished an aircraft, and awarded the Prince of Wales trophy to the best pilot of RAF Valley. Police in Peru say they found the body of an American mountaineer who was buried by an avalanche 22 years ago. 58-year-old William Stamfel had been trying to climb one of the highest peaks in the Andes, where he was buried by an avalanche in 2002. Police found his body last week. It was well preserved due to being in ice. They were able to identify it because Stamfel was carrying his driver's license. Stamfel and his friends Matthew Richardson and Steve Erskine were trying to ascend Mount Huascarán in 2002 when the avalanche hit. Erskine's body was found shortly after the avalanche, and Stamfel's was found last week, and Richardson's body is still missing. The climber's body was taken to a morgue in the city of Huraz. The Israeli military raids a refugee camp in the northern West Bank yesterday. The army says it was a part of their counterterrorism operations in the city, but gave no further details. Army bulldozers were seen inside the Nur Shams refugee camp and explosions were heard. Palestinian militant groups were openly active in the camp. Israeli forces regularly raid the camp and fight with the militant groups. Palestinian Authority governs urban pockets of the West Bank, and it has a limited foothold in the north of the territory. President Biden is back on the world stage. Questions have been swirling about his health, and many are calling for him to step aside from the race. Connor Hansen has the details of this crucial NATO summit.
It's another high-stakes test for President Joe Biden, under constant scrutiny since his concerning debate performance against former President Trump. This time, he's hosting the leaders of other NATO countries at a summit in Washington. The Biden administration is hoping to reassure allies the president is healthy and isn't going anywhere.
I'm not aware of anyone raising concerns with the secretary or anyone else from the State Department about the president.
The 75th anniversary of NATO here, all of our guests from around the world. What we're projecting from the White House is not strength right now, at a very dangerous time around the world.
Ukraine will likely be a top issue at the summit. Democrats argue former President Trump won't be as supportive as he has been critical of NATO in the past.
We in the Senate will send President Zelensky and our NATO allies the same message we have shared from day one. America will never turn its back on you. The same cannot be said for Donald Trump.
Heading into the summit, Biden officials still facing a barrage of questions.
If the national security team needs to get to the president, they get to the president. And it doesn't matter what the hour on the clock says. He's always there, he's always available, and they have ready access to him.
At the end of the NATO summit later this week, President Biden will hold a rare and highly anticipated press conference, taking questions directly from reporters.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5:46 now on this Wednesday morning. We are starting with a live look from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Just another wonderful shot of those colors out there this morning as the sun comes up. Looking fantastic. The remnants of Beryl now well, of course, to our east. That means that in terms of that kind of rainfall, we are done. But we do still have some pop-up storm chances as we head into our Thursday, which we'll get to in just a moment. Another live view from the MoDOT camera, 32nd and Rangeline in Joplin. Looking back to the south, and we're looking fairly good out there as well, and getting a little brighter down in the Osho. MoDOT camera at 1659, looking back to the west, and that's Lusk Drive right there, heading into the Supercenter to your to your left, and all these to your right there. All right. Now we've established where we are, let's talk about what's going to happen in some of these locations. Future track, again, only a couple of stray clouds today. Today's going to be relatively decent. It's going to be a little warmer, and that's going to be the thing. Now that Beryl's gone, it's not impacting our weather nearly as much. We're going to start to warm back up across the area. We're going to start to see more sunshine out there, and it's going to start to get a little bit hotter out there as well. And we're looking at that return of dangerous heat next week, possibly. Tomorrow morning, we get a few more clouds. We start to go partly cloudy through our Thursday, and then we'll start to see, especially by the afternoon, opportunities for pop-up showers and thunderstorms. Not expecting anything strong or severe, but throughout the day and into early Friday morning, some pop-up showers, couple pop-up thunderstorms will be possible out there, so do keep that in mind. After the morning hours, though, we start to clear out again for Friday, and we continue to heat up. So our heat risk today and into our Thursday is not really all that significant. As you see, it's minor. We're looking at heat index values at best over the next couple of days, about 90 to 95. Then we go into Friday, and as temperatures rise, our heat risk begins to increase. We start to see moderate overspreading the area. By Sunday, we're seeing major across the area, and by Monday, unfortunately, not just more major, we're now starting to see extreme. Remember that extreme, we're pushing heat index values 110 degrees in some cases, and you're going to see what that looks like in terms of air temperature too. It's going to get pretty hot next week. 65 in Joplin right now, pretty decent out there, and temperatures across the area again pretty decent as well, as we're all just kind of sitting in the low to mid 60s. So a beautiful start to the day. Hopefully give your AC a break. Sunny skies as we get the day underway. Again, a little warmer as we go low 80s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, sunny skies, maybe a stray cloud or two. Temperatures upper 80s, maybe a couple of low 90-degree readings here and there. Our clear skies continue through the evening and into the overnight, falling back to the upper 70s by 10. Overnight lows into the low 70s across the area. Then we go in the next week, and that's where it really starts to get unpleasant. Low 90s tomorrow, low to mid 90s Friday, mid to upper 90s this weekend, and yeah, that's the triple digits Monday and Tuesday, hence why we start to see the extreme show up on that heat risk map. And then we get another system with some pop-up showers and thunderstorms as we go into next Wednesday and Thursday that'll cool us back just a little and just briefly before we start to heat up again by next Friday. That's a check of your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
A woman from South Georgia is making history. At 21, she's the youngest woman mayor in state history, and also the youngest woman ever to serve as mayor in the United States. Brooke Huckabee is no stranger to politics. Her father previously served as mayor, and now she is trying to carve out her own niche while also still attending college. Tristan Clements spoke with Huckabee about her political aspirations.
I'd say that one thing that really inspired me was just the lack of interest in all the people my age, and they don't really care about politics, and it really inspired me to kind of take the jump in and go ahead and get a head start on it. The older generation's not always going to be around to handle things and run things for us.
While managing the town of Araby of just under 500 people, Brooke Huckabee is still taking college courses. She's working to earn her agricultural technology degree at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College. She also works part-time as a support services worker with the Georgia Department of Agriculture. While running for office, some citizens questioned her ability to run at such a young age. She believes this is the best place to learn more about government.
How is someone supposed to gain the experience without putting themselves into the ring?
While Brooke is only 21, she didn't go into the job blind. Her father, Craig Huckabee, was the previous mayor, serving as a valued mentor since she took office in January of 2024. Lindsay Sword served as the city clerk under both mayors, telling us working with the younger Huckabee has been a pleasure.
Oh, it's been great. I like having somebody that can think of newer things, bring more youth to the community versus, all these older councilmen that we've got.
Brooke's typical day consists of everything from schoolwork for her ABAC classes to signing off on work orders for the city of Araby and working out of Tifton's Georgia Department of Agriculture's office, aiding scientists in agriculture research.
I feel like I'm living 3 different lives sometimes because I'm, bouncing from an interview like this, and then I'm going to class, and then I'm going to work. So balancing all that has, I don't want to say it's been a struggle, it's been a challenge, but one that I feel like I'm up to.
A politician with energy and integrity, qualities that many voters are looking for now.
Huckabee says she is hoping to have a long political career. We'll be right back. Well, a dog should know that his nose can be a little too nosy and cook up a hot mess for himself and his owners. Old Fido here in Colorado Springs, Colorado smells the goods in a box on a stove and hops onto the front burner dials to investigate. But he's just lit up some trouble as he gives up. The cardboard box is apparently too close to the burner, and the dog accidentally turns on the burner, igniting the box and contents. Homeowners were awakened by their Apple HomePod system and doused the fire on their own before the fire department arrived. While humans and the dog are okay, one homeowner was treated for smoke inhalation. Well, cat lovers, it's your day to celebrate. Today is National Kitten Day, and it doesn't get much cuter than these lovable felines. Although, let's be honest, for owners of kittens, every day is a holiday. But if you don't already have your own little furball to cuddle, head to a shelter to adopt or foster one. Or you can start volunteering with the Kitten Rescue if bringing one into your home isn't an option. Just don't forget the catnip. And there is nothing wrong with just watching videos of their tiny explorations if that's your thing.
There's a lot of cat videos out there on YouTube. A lot of funny dog videos too. Unfortunately, what a bad combination with, like, here's a dog who set fire to their owner's house. By the way, it's also National Kitten Day, and after that, maybe that's what you want to go with is a kitten instead of the dog, since the dog will burn your house down and the kitten will just destroy your furniture, apparently. Yeah, so our director approves of this. James is like, yeah, no, it's probably not a bad idea because there was no videos of kittens burning your house down. Yeah. So, boy, what a twist there. Let's talk about another twist in weather, and that's temperatures getting a little bit warmer as we go into the weekend. First, today, low 80s by 11 o'clock, sunny skies, and as we head into the afternoon, upper 80s and into the low 90s for some of us, and puts our heat index values about 90 to 95. Clear skies continue through the evening. Again, maybe a passing cloud or two, and we'll be back into the low 70s for our overnight lows, but you're going to want to keep your kitten or your puppy or whatever you may have indoors as we head into the weekend and next week. Take a look at those temperatures climbing upper 90s by Sunday, and we get into the triple digits Monday and Tuesday. And we got some pop-up storm chances Thursday of this week and then Wednesday and Thursday of next week. That is a check of your forecast. We're back with another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.